We are live. Good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully, you're doing well on this somewhat, how should I say, cold, rainy, wet Tuesday. And hopefully, you're doing well no matter where you are in the globe. I've had a very interesting past couple of days, which I'm sure many of you may bring up in our interaction today as well. But hopefully, you're safe no matter where you are. And here at the Bisimoto facility in one of our showrooms, which is pretty cool, has some nice vehicles behind us, a petrol one, an EV, just to get the mood going. Hello, Jaguar. And how do you say it properly? Jaguar Agua. Good seeing you indeed. Yeah, Hero, hi, goodbye. Is already hit the ground running. I can see my own breath. That's how cold it is here. Talking about my trailer, the Bisimoto trailer I've had since the mid-2000s is completely gone. And yeah, no talismani. I have not found my trailer yet. I don't have any good news quite yet. Hello, Breed XO, my very good friend Xavier. For those of you who do not know Xavier, very close friend of mine. We used to race back in the 90s. He had this beautiful LS Integra. He had a 94 Integra in 1993, four-door, which he carbureted and put nitrous on. So imagine getting a 2025 car and within months put nitrous and carburetors on it, which was hardcore. His car was beautiful, fun, fast. We had a good time, Xavier, and thanks for being here, and I appreciate being my brother. XO Truck said it's dry 60 in Pittsburgh. You are so fortunate. We've had what we refer to in Southern California as flash flood rains for the past two and a half days now, which is quite unfortunate. Greetings from London, London Camera Project. Good seeing you indeed. Thank you for the kind word, Talismani. Appreciate that, saying that I'm a legend. Carols and Pics. Good seeing you indeed. South Africa's in the house, courtesy of Tristan Evans 99. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Missing you as well. Jersey's in the house, courtesy of That Slow Subi. Thank you for joining. Yoshi Build. Good afternoon. Hopefully you're doing well. Ren Street Podcast. Greetings indeed. Last Shot 5010. Thank you so much. Grand House Performance asking if I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. Motor Tech said, hi BC. I hope you're feeling better. I am much better now. Thank you so much. Doing well, Mick R. Thank you for joining here on YouTube. And yes, for those of you who don't follow me on YouTube, more done. Please go on there, subscribe. We have some really cool updates from time to time. It's a lot of fun channel indeed. Big ups to you, Right Fab. Miami also in the YouTube live section. What up, Jimmy Cole? Thank you so much for joining. Hello, Loud Louis 88. Yes, I agree with you, Richard M. Mickens, who says things are low lives. And guys, just to give you some insights of what happened, yesterday morning, early morning Monday, at about 3:05 a.m., a group of people, individual, decided to use a red 350, red F-150 full-size Ford truck and just permanently borrow my Bisimoto small 24-foot trailer, which is quite annoying. I really do have a sour taste in my mouth for individuals who don't want to put in the work that we put in, right? Who don't want to work hard but want to just take from others just because. It's not right. And it is my goal with the fine folks from Riverside PD and Ontario PD and all of you to bring these nincompoops to justice. So it's quite unfortunate. I feel a sense of violation, which I can't put words to. It's just really unfortunate, but I appreciate all your efforts, guys. Many of you have come to my aid to be able to find the vehicle, get the plate, find out where this individual lives. A lot of information is coming, and if you guys see anything, please, I encourage you, do not approach the individuals. Reach out to me, reach out to your local authorities, do the right thing, don't get in trouble, don't get hurt, let's make it happen, Mick R says, I prefer YouTube versus Insta. And Mick R says, wow, that's terrible. I hate worthless people like them. I agree with you, Mick R from YouTube. Thank you so much. Toronto, Canada in the house, courtesy of Harry, how do you say it? Lexense. Thank you so much for seeing you indeed. Hencho, 1799. By the way, Toronto is a beautiful place. I do want to take the kids back there. I haven't been there since, 2016 probably. And it was just a beautiful, hip place. So I may do that soon. Hello, Richard Mickens. Good seeing you. AVO, AV Overland Supply says he keeps his eye peeled. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you For those of you who don't know, AV Overland, great individual, great designer, great builder, does everything overland, specializes in Porsches and all things, all by 4x4 and overlanding. Whether you have a Toyota, Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, Bentley, Range Rover, Rolls Royce, he can make it happen for you. So give him a call. He's here in Southern California. Great guy indeed, very talented. Love you, BC, says Harold. Hi, goodbye. I'm so sleepy. Best of luck praying for your mid-2000s trailer. Appreciate that. I'm kind of sleepy as well because I had a hard time sleeping last night with all the madness going on. I just didn't feel too good. Forgive me, it's got really cold here, so I'm kind of bundled up. I even have an undergarment here and a beanie. It's really cold here in the shop. But Jonathan's back there taking lunch. We're having a good time nonetheless, trying to make things happen. So it's good. Mr. Element. And that Wago, yeah, the wagon is right here. Here I have a VW bus, 450 horsepower electric bus. I have the Bisimoto center seat Porsche with twin turbos, lots of fun with push-to-pass capability. I have a Project 912 back there as well, which is pretty exciting. A galvanized 912, the one that people tend to seek after, the 1976, that doesn't rust. It's really nice. Doesn't rust easily, I should say. So we have it here. Greetings, Sharky ETV. It's been my brother. Good seeing you. India's in the house, courtesy of Nidral Legual. Ramona Fael, 23. And guys, I see a lot of great interaction here. Probably has a lot to do with some of the things that happened here in the past couple of days. But just to share with you what this is an Instagram Live that I do every Tuesday, known as Bisimoto Tech2sday. And my goal is to share absolutely all of my knowledge, everything I know from the petrol side, EV side, hybrid side, alternative fuel side, you name it, anything technology that I can share, I'm here to share that information with you because I want to give back to this wonderful environment, this wonderful country that's been there for me, allowed me to have a good, decent life for my family and I. And above and beyond that, I came to this country years ago, didn't know anything about cars, wanted to learn, and people weren't there for me. One, maybe two individuals was there. John Consaldi, rest in peace, was one of them who really took me under his wing. This past weekend, I went to the Honda campus in Torrance. I met John Yoshinaga, who gave me a chance to race with American Honda when I was doing a lot of drag racing. And these are people who took me under the wing and taught me the ropes. So I'm trying to do the same thing, give back. And the noise you hear in the background is raining, so hopefully it's not too bad for you guys. But nonetheless, this has just been a great opportunity for me to share my knowledge, my technology with all of you, so you can be better than myself and pay it forward and do the same thing to others. And it doesn't have to be just technology, whether it's technology, whether it's with emotional intelligence, whether it's with love, life, business, influence, success, finance, spirituality, you name it, health. Please be there for someone. Be that person you needed when you were younger. It really feels good to pay forward and to give back. Thank you so much, Max Men's Media. Good seeing you indeed. Appreciate you joining. Where's that Matt Odyssey? I love that van. Sound and power amazing. It's like the Residence All Motor VTEC. I can't believe it's so funny. I see my breath. It's like I'm in the snow, but I'm not. We actually drove that to the Honda campus this past Saturday for the Honda event. That was pretty amazing indeed. It was like the cars, bikes, and coffee. It was really cool indeed. And I think they're trying to do this every month, worst case every other month. So I think the next one is in April, should be really a nice one to commemorate the upcoming Formula One race in Long Beach that Acura and Honda is extremely involved in. It's pretty good. B Double says, dang, that sucks. Hopefully it pops up soon and intact. I hope so too, because that even though it's empty, that is a very important component to our business here at Bisimoto. Let's see, it's a matter of time. That trailer is way too big. I know, right? So it's kind of silly. I don't know what that's about. I get it if the trailer was just pure white or black or red. This thing's kind of blasted with Bisimoto all around it. So unless it's something personal, I don't know. I just don't get why someone would just take that and destroy the locks in the Plat. They really damage the trailer and the other mechanisms just to take it away, which is pretty sad indeed, Anyone else have sound problems besides Vita Inspirations? Let me know, guys, if you do. If you have sound problems, I can go out and come back in. Hello, Henshow1799. Cold in New York, says Sharky TV. Well, stay warm, brother. I think New York may be much colder than we have here in Southern California because the external area here is in the high 50s, but it's rainy high 50s, a lot of rain. It's pretty crazy, For sure, it's been an inside job. That knows it's never random. You never know Also, Joe 47. I've been hearing that, but hopefully that's not the case. Got the trailer back, ask all you panic? No, I have not. Have not had the opportunity to explore that yet. Still, we had officers come here, we had officers help us through, your peers help us through Instagram. Our friends who are close to me, clients, Ontario PD, they sent an officer here to take notes and look at some of the forensics, and we do have the person's plate, so it's really a matter of time before this person's in trouble, Dayton Air Car Talk reporting in. Things are going okay despite. Thank you so much for joining, sir. Appreciate you indeed. Hello, Death Row from Jamaica. Thank you so much. MD Regois, and even if perpetrators found that they would let out someday, well, even if the perpetrators were found, they will be let out someday. I know, it's almost a California thing or it's a US thing, but it's just unfortunate. But, thanks to the bonehead liberal wokeness, yeah, it's kind of sad. But there is some element of truth to what you just said, MD guy, Alberto Vitek says here in Canada, it's been cold. Weather is weird. It has been weird. We've had some weird weather patterns in the past couple of years, 3 years. We've had our coldest. It snowed here in SoCal this time last year. Snow, which never happens, right? And then above and beyond that, we've had ridiculously 3-digit summers here in Ontario. I've had a shop in Ontario here for the past decade or so, and I've never seen such madness than I've seen now, It's sad. Yes, Julius, Tech2sday. Welcome, Julius Jones on YouTube. Let's keep going here. Love your work, bro, says I am Ola Jimmy. Thank you so much. Appreciate the kind words indeed. Such a nice guy, says, how do you say it? Laugh out Louis, 88. Thank you for the kind words. Henschel 799 from South Africa. Thank you for joining, brother. Appreciate you. Trinidad in the house, courtesy of Oh You So Panic. Thank you so much. Malaysia's in the house, courtesy of Freeze. Trailer situation is still on standby. Haven't seen anything yet. Waiting to hear back. We are back, says Kovolt. Absolutely, brother. We are back indeed. Thank you so much for joining. Kovolt is a peer engineer who loves the EV space, or when I say alternative means of propulsion. And just great guy. He's visited the facility before. I've seen him many events in NorCal. Love the guy. Just great creative individual. Been an amazing Corvette, which is pretty nice. And best wishes to you on that, sir, indeed. Death Row 323 said, hello, brother. I hope you get yourself back from these lowlifes. I hope so, too. Say my name, please, says Nijal Lagwal. Thank you so much for joining. Niraj Lagwal. Niraj, I believe that's how you say it. A shame for my hometown, says Julius Jones. Trailer better pull up unharmed. I hope so, too, brother. Thank you so much for the kind words. DNP, greetings. BC, hopefully you're well. Yes, physically I'm well. Glad to be in the truck with all of you guys. I traveled last week. I'm back in town. Travel was uneventful. A little bumpy ride on the way back, but nonetheless, it was good. NT-Work 3693. Thanks for the heads up. Appreciate that indeed. Good luck trying to hide it, says XO. It's either going to have you branding all over it. Someone obviously off orange door. Please share any visible facets that paint one mask. Yeah, that'd be good. One in particular is when you open the side door. It's so sad. It has a homage to my old race car, my old CRX. It had the stickers. It had a photograph of Jonathan Wong from Super Street Eyes, from Super Street Articles. That thing was part of our history here. So for someone who doesn't want to take it and deface it, it'll be quite unfortunate. But let's see what happens in the next few days. Hello, Rohan MG22. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, BC says NAB Visual Design, who, by the way, is a talented graphic artist. Helped me with this right here. That's on my shirt. Helped me with the Plaid, the Rolls Royce, the Waggle Van. Just an amazing individual. My Model 3, that's out front. Excuse me. Amazing concept artist. Says they can take material things from you, but never take your talent. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. It's just so sad. It's just sad indeed. Miss how do you say it? Miss Zal 7. Hello, good seeing you. Thanks for joining. Did you have a lock on the trailer? So, laugh out Louis 88. I had not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, multiple locks and deterrents around the tongue area. All those were just destroyed. It was even disabled to be able to electronically lift the hitch itself. All that was disabled. They really wanted this trailer for a reason. Maybe they expected some Bentley or Porsche to be in. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the deal is. It's unfortunate. You know, the sad thing is, if I had a Tesla in there, it'd be tracked. It would tell me. I didn't have that in there. But anyway, yeah. So it's quite sad indeed. Um, Next time, BC, highly recommend putting an Apple AirTag or 2 hitting the trailer. The excellent tech trackers. Thank you so much, Corvolt, for the kind words and insight. Terrible Human, says Revolt Systems, which, by the way, Eddie and the team at Revolt, amazing individuals. They are just amazing peers and engineers out there at that facility. They build the most beautiful cars, do quite a bit in the domestic scene. Just amazing work, absolutely spectacular. I respect them so much. We trade things from time to time. They help me with my business. I try and help whenever I can. Just great individuals. Check them out. Follow them if you don't. They are making things happen in this scene. I know, I appreciate that indeed. Is your shop still in Ontario, says TMV? Absolutely, here in Ontario, California, as I fondly refer to as center of the universe. Or did they cut it off? They cut some and beat some. It's pretty violent what they did. Hello, K24 Wagon. I have a K24 Wagon here right as well. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you indeed. Was the trailer empty? It had very minimal stuff in there, but in terms of an automobile, it did not have a car in there at all. You know? Did you see the G4x4 Mahindra? No, I have not seen that. Greetings, Blue Top Performance. Greetings, Joe, brother. Hopefully you're doing well. Blue Top Performance is out there on the East Coast. Great individual. Does a lot in terms of transportation. Builds beautiful cars with him and his family. I love what he does because he gets the youth involved in motorsports, which is what we need. When I interact with a lot of kids in schools, recently I took an Odyssey to like a local Laverne car wash. Only one girl knew what that van was. The rest of them were asking, why does your van make so much noise? Is something wrong with it? Why does the minivan sound like that? They don't even know anything about cars, about modifications, about the beauty and joy of performance automobiles. They had no clue. And you know what? Blue Top Performance is doing his own, little by little, to make things happen, to really expose the youth to that opportunity. So for that, sir, I commend you. Hello, Snow Secrets. Thank you so much for joining. Axel Truck has a tech question. VE is the amount of cylinder fills versus ambient pressure. So if you're running a bar of relative boost, is 100 VE 2 bars in the cylinder? It is. It actually is. It is a combination of atmospheric pressure per what you're putting in. Absolutely, that is what's happening. Let's see here. Text me the no. I don't know what that means. God is not sleeping, bro, says Dorkin Garfield. Blessings to you indeed. I got a new job as a delivery guy in India, but I have no bike. Bro, can someone help me with a bike? Please, says Faithful Nature 21. I'm sure someone may be able to help you. Out here in the US may be a little tough, but best of luck to you, brother. Keep it up. Keep pushing forward. Cool car art on your hoodie, says Barn Find Club. Yes, that's NAB Vision Design to this. This is a vehicle that's a Porsche 935, also fondly known as the Baby Moby. Porsche built one of these with a 2.0 turbocharged engine, just wreaked havoc on the track, did extremely well, and now retired in the Porsche Museum in Germany. Right Miami says, hey BC, lots of love from Miami. Ryan Rightfab, I'm looking at some bottle of Tech Line coating on my desk. Can't wait to apply it. Please do my love. You know, I'm a huge advocate of coatings, guys. Huge advocate. If you open this engine, or the one on my wagon, or the one in the Porsche 935, any of my internal combustion engines, and to some extent I'm starting to play with that with electric motors, they are vastly advantaged by internal coatings. And there are many coatings I tend to employ, which I'd love to share some insight with you, if you don't mind, right there, Miami. Oil shedding coatings, heat retention coatings, heat dispersion coatings, okay? So, with some of my, I'll just give you some of the things that actually gave me some really, really good opportunities in terms of performance and power. One in particular are ceramic barrier coatings. I use those extensively on the crowns of my pistons. When I get pistons from Trom, you'll see these very nice ceramic-based coatings on the piston, and what that does is it prevents the heat of combustion from being absorbed by the piston, and what that does, that heat stays in the combustion chamber and does work on the piston, creating more power. By coating the top of my pistons and even my combustion chambers and valve faces, I tend to get 5 to 7% improvement in power, that much. And you can chemically bond them. There are companies out there that do a great job in being able to make that happen. In Southern California, there's one in Orange County that's very, very popular. You've heard of Swain Tech out in Texas. Of course, there's some stuff that you mentioned earlier in terms of tech line. There's so many companies that can apply, car craft and roadside can do it as well. They apply some of battery coatings can create a lot of good power as well. The same goes with turbo manifolds and exhaust manifolds and headers. By coating them, you allow the heat to be retained to allow the energy which exists in terms of heat to help with scavenging in terms of our motor setup and to help keep that turbine spooling in terms of turbos. So if you go around the shop, you see my turbochargers typically have black or silver ceramic barrier coatings to keep the heat in turbines and turbochargers. You know, my exhaust manifold headers on my race cars, you see them coated right now to keep velocity up inside the exhaust manifold to help with scavenging and make more power. Now, when it comes to oil shedding, I love coating my crankshafts and also my rods with that. So when oil hits on it, it can fling and stay off. Oil in your crankcase has mass. That's many times why dry sumps make a lot of power, because it prevents you from having your crankshaft and rods sit in a bath of oil, continue to hit it, and take away energy, because it takes energy to cut through that crazy thick oil in the pan. On the flip side, there's a mist of oil that forms in the crankcase, and you're able to cut through that very easily. And many times oil can stick to those rotating components and create opportunities that are not good for power. So what do I typically do? Use oil shedding coatings on the crankcase components that move around, rods, on the throws of the crankshaft itself, especially when I knife edge them to cut through very nicely. And you pick up power there as well. Now here's another one that is quite popular with OEMs, especially with Honda, but I also incorporate in my internal combustion engines as well. And that's using some kind of DLC coatings on the camshafts and the rocker arms, and using oil slippery moly-based coatings on the skirt of my pistons. And many times, if you want to take that very much step further to get that amazing amount of power, there's a company in the South Bay, WPC, that treats bearings, crankshafts, rocker arms, camshafts, anything with a friction type surface that gives something that really penetrates the surface and gives a very smooth opportunity to receive power. And I've seen amazing gains on a dyno and much longer lasting bearings, even with some slight detonation. It really makes things very impervious, creates these small pockets inside those rotating surfaces that hold oil and make things very smooth. Even if you slide like a bucket on a cylinder surface that has a trim, it just slides right off. I made a mistake once at even coating my cylinder sleeve that way. It took me a long time to break it in. That's how crazy it was in terms of slipperiness. So by all means, when you have a chance, explore using coatings. You will not regret it. Just amazing indeed, you know? And RFAB is saying, I want to check WPC coatings. Yes, WPC, Izumi and his team, amazing stuff. I've treated gearboxes with it, less heat, less friction, less drivetrain losses, just amazing stuff. Amazing, amazing, amazing indeed. My pleasure indeed, right, Fab? Brother, go show me the red car, please. Okay, I just posted it recently, but I'll show a little bit. Hopefully we can do that before this session ends in a few. Thank you, Snowy Secrets. Appreciate you indeed. Thanks for joining. Okay, let's see here. I finally bought a car with direct injection, says Breed XL. Reading, I've learned the downside with the ability to clean the valves. How do I do this action, says Breed XL. So Xavier, Breed XL, makes a very good point. In terms of internal combustion engines, there are kind of three major ways of getting fuel into the engine that are quite popular. There are other ways, but there are three ways that are quite popular. There's carburation, and within fuel injection, there's direct injection and port injection. Carburation tends to be a very simple device where there's a barrel or multiple barrels with a venturi inside the middle of it. And that venturi is pretty much a device that starts off with a certain high cross-section area, rapidly decreases to a smaller cross-section area, and gradually, as it goes away, tapers back to a larger cross-section area. And what it does in that smallest area that's in the middle of the venturi device or that pipe is it creates this high pressure area or pressure differential that if you put a tube in the middle of it, that high pressure area can siphon out fuel and really blast it out or disintegrate into droplets. Whatever that fluid could be, water, in many cases, you know, gasoline, ethanol, methanol, whatever the case may be. And that's how carburetors work, by using this natural phenomenon of a venturi increasing speed to then meter fuel into an engine. Port injection is something you may see very commonly on many performance cars and pretty much on all the petrol cars here. where there's an injector that can exist either in the head, closer to the intake port or closer to the intake valve, and also maybe sometimes in an intake manifold or even stays further away. And what that does is stays, as the name implies, in the port. And what it does, it meters fuel. It's usually a very, relatively low pressure system, can be anywhere from 30 psi to 200 psi, and it just gives you opportunity to meter fuel with fuel injection or some type of metering device or computer, and it shoots into the back of the valve, and by doing that, keeps the valve clean because it's constantly having fuel hit the back of the valve. The final one that's quite popular is direct injection. A lot of manufacturers tend to use that nowadays, where injection of fuel is done in the combustion chamber or in the cylinder sleeve of the block. And what are the advantages of that? You can get better gas mileage, better emissions. You have the opportunity to be able to run even in turbocharged applications, boost levels that are relatively high, but not have to have such a rich mixture as you would see with port injection. So you can run leaner safely, even in boost. And what that does, once again, yields better fuel economy for you. The only caveat with port injection is it happens after the intake valve, and hence the valve can get all type of rubbish getting past the filter, get coated after some years with some elements that may come from the atmosphere, dust, debris, gunk, can just build up there. It really hurts efficiency, hurts power, can have you stop misfiring, and many times companies, as part of the maintenance at dealerships, would walnut blast or blast out the intake valves to really clean that up and get that going. Our assistant here, Lindsay, had to do her Lexus not too long ago. It's a very dirty job, but necessary after a few, 100 or so thousand miles, which is quite unfortunate. So Xavier, there's nothing you can do in terms of maintenance unless you know how to water blast yourself or use some kind of steam blasting or ice blasting to blast it out. It's just very difficult to do. While some companies like Subaru and Toyota have done the combination of two, where they use both port and direct injection, so they get the best of both worlds in terms of keeping the valve clean, having the opportunities to allow us to tune very nicely, because direct injection, which you may see in like newer Hondas and Porsches and so on and so forth, use very high pressures, 200 psi plus, 2,000 psi plus, to be able to inject just to be overcome the pressure in the cylinder. So it's quite a bit. It's quite a bit indeed, So hope that helps, Xavier. What type of motor does the 986 have? It has a 2.7 flat 6 Boxster water-cooled engine is what's in there. So it's a flat Boxster 6, flat 6 Boxster engine, fully built, makes 450 horsepower, and a press a button, you can get additional 50 through what I like to call boost, push to pass. It's a little button on the steering wheel, and I should post a video of that soon. I just love doing that. I think I have a video where I was racing at Willow Springs, and I had to pass it. No, it was a button Willow. I was racing Corvette, and I just hit the button and passed them. It's like nitrous that you don't have to keep refilling the bottle. It's a lot of fun, indeed, Good afternoon, Dapper Dabber 710. So far, so good. Appreciate the kind words, indeed. Intake valve cleaning, says Julius Jones on YouTube, for VWs is essential. Yeah, for anything in terms of direct injection, you want to keep those valves clean. It helps significantly with flow and efficiency. Where can I buy a motor oil for synthetic? I'm a huge advocate of pure oil. You can buy it here at Bisimoto. We have dealers all around the world as well, where you can buy from. But here at Bisimoto, by all means. And something else, they do have a special going on now where they can sponsor someone. So if you do have some type of influence, or you go to events and racing and so on and so forth, write to them here on Instagram at pureoil_USA. Let them know I sent you. They're looking for people to sponsor, and maybe they can help you out. I'd love to help, Let's see. That's a Cali for y'all. I mean, San Francisco. Yeah, it's kind of crazy in San Francisco, indeed. It really is. It really is. Okay. So let's see here. Hello, Kamarov9827. Thanks for joining. Keep an eye on OfferUp, says Brusco Cappuccino. Good point. I would do that indeed, So let's see here. Met you, says Sal's Custom 71. Years ago in Cerritos, Honda dealer. My cousin works there, parts department. Had a freshly EF wagon. Thank you. I used to really work closely together with Norm Reeves Honda in Cerritos. Brad Mugg was the general manager there, great advocate of our program. He's since left the organization, and that the initial wagon I had there has been sold and parted out. I have a new one here. But yeah, I had a lot of good fun with those guys. Great team over there at Norm Reeves Honda. Just love them indeed, Love them indeed. Let's see here. Oh, don't worry, Chris. No worry. Okay. Okay. Oh, Kevin, don't worry. I already got rid of him. Got rid of him. No problem whatsoever. Okay. Did you receive a new pen yet on the trailer? Nothing yet. Let's see here. What motor is in 96 now? Oh, same one. A flat six, 2.7 liter built engine, runs on ethanol. Lots of fun indeed, you know? Lots of fun. What's the problem with direct injection? I prefer the better than electric car, says All Motor VTech. The challenge with direct injection is you tend after some time to, twofold by the way, you tend after some time to get buildup on the intake valves just from rubbish and gunk that gets past the intake air filter. And after some while, it tends to prevent good flow into the head, affect power, affect performance, affect, you know, the whole benefit of direct injection is to get better efficiency and also fuel mileage. That goes out the window. It needs to be cleaned from time to time. And on the tuning front, having direct injection engine management solution systems are not very commonplace. So when you make a lot of power, a lot of those setups are already optimized quite significantly. One in particular is like the Honda Type R, the latest generation with the K20C. There are limitations with the factory system. You'll be hard pressed with the factory system. Even with all the tuning, you want some updates to get past 450 wheel horsepower. You have to do some major updates to the direct injection high pressure pump and the low pressure pump system to be able to get a lot more power. It's not as easy as back in the day where you can just upgrade to a larger fuel pump and put big injectors and you're good to go. It's a lot more involved. So from a tuning perspective and also a long-term efficiency perspective, those are some of the caveats or challenges that you may experience with direct injection indeed. What's up, bro? Beautiful Volkswagen panel. Thank you so much, Danny Ga. How do you say it? Danny Ga 16DET. Yes, it's a client's car. This is a 1965 VW bus, fully modified, fully electric, and doesn't have those crazy screens you expect to see in certain conversions. It's really clean indeed, looks absolutely factory. Maybe I'll go out and come in and show you guys some of the nice accoutrements here, which is pretty good, you know? Let's see. What do you think of the Plat that Kyle has, says Deco 718? I think it's great. The team, Kyle and his team from Booster Boys noticed that certain generation Odysseys and also the Tesla Plat, Model S Plat have a very close, how should I say, wheelbase. And what they did is they kind of de-skinned a Plaid from an auction and grafted on a Honda Odyssey body a couple generations before mine. And it looks pretty cool. It looks really original and OEM. So it has Plaid power, efficiency, zero emissions, speed with the body of an old school minivan from Honda, which I love. I think it's pretty cool. So I love the creativity. I just love when people think out of the box and do cool things. So I like it. Answer is I like it a lot. Gabriel Martinez, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate the kind words indeed. Let's see here. Best 2.0 turbo platform, in my opinion. Man, the Type R Honda is pretty good. It's really good. I'm very partial to the engineering and engine in the Honda Type R, with the exception of the intake manifold being over the exhaust manifold, which creates a lot of heat soak opportunities. I like the footprint and architecture of the Veloster N and how that exists, but in terms of aftermarket support, the Veloster N does not have the support that the Civic Type R has. So the best turbo platform, in my opinion, 2.0, is the Civic Type R from Honda. That's my opinion. All right, let's see here. Wow, time is flying. It's already 35 minutes in. Do you remember Imperial for like a purist? I do actually. Yes, I do. We have had clients who have shared with me that they got improved efficiency and mile per gallon using 020 Purol in their Purus or Puri or Puruses. Puruses? Anyway, in their Toyota Puri. How's that? So what it does, because of the lubricity of it, how it has the ability to increase lubricity and reduce friction in the engine. Also has the ability, especially with those overhead cam engines, to have a decent amount of zinc. I think it's like 770 parts per million of zinc. that protects valve trains as well, but also bonds very closely to the molecules of the oil, so it doesn't have the opportunity to disassociate easy and hurt catalysts. It's a win-win. So by all means, try it out, reach out to them, see, or you can buy from our website, whatever you want to do, and maybe they can help you out and just report your results to me. I think you'll be very, very impressed. Yeah. Let's see here. Hey, BC, what's your thoughts on the vacuum pumps on Honda all motors? King Mars, that is a godsend. I mean it. Vacuum pumps are godsends. Now, let me share with you the concept of what I discovered when it comes to vacuum pumps, whether you're using a standard dry sump system, something really archaic and old school, like a vacuum suction system through your exhaust head or manifold, or having a dedicated pump to that crankcase. In an internal combustion engine, the crankcase does create a lot of pressure. Pressure from some of the blow-by that occurs in the internal combustion engine cylinders, either through rocking or going past the ring gaps or age of the engine. So many factors that contribute to that. Secondly, when your pistons go up and down under crankcase pressure, your pistons have to work against that. So your pistons trying to go down naturally thanks to the crankshaft, and many times it has to work against pressure in the crankcase. And you see a lot of that even in booster applications. Our motor is quite obvious as well. I even have crankcase monitoring systems in my crankcase in my all motor cars, which is quite interesting as well. When you put a vacuum pump, or you have a vacuum situation where you use exhaust gas removal to create vacuum in the crankcase, OEMs even do this by using the vacuum suction that happens in intake and rerouting the crankcase, the valve cover into an intake to help. The one thing I don't like about that, it introduces warmer air into your intake, which hurts efficiency and power. And oil mist can also go into your crankcase, which does tend to reduce the octane rating of the fuel you're using. So it makes your 91 octane behave like an 88, 89, So I try to limit any type of oil contamination into my combustion chamber as much as possible. Based upon my test myself, with a properly sized vacuum pump, you can see on an internal combustion force in the engine, you can see up to 10 wheel horsepower gain in power. That's how much you can gain from having a vacuum pump in your crankcase. Want to see even more power than that? Reduce your ring tension in your rings when you build it. You can use really low tension oil rings, low tension second rings, low tension top rings in your build. And what that does, because you don't have all that tension, you don't have that dragging your cylinder, even though you're using some great oils like Purol, you end up consuming a lot of energy trying to overcome the friction in your sleeves, but now with lightweight, low tension rings in your package assembly, you now have that power available for you in terms of power to the ground. Now, without a vacuum pump, you could smoke because oil rings are really there to kind of remove excess oil film and not allow you contamination, which could make your car smoke. And also, as I mentioned earlier, reduce the octane rating in your setup. So combining a low tension oil ring with a vacuum pump is a win-win. I even went crazier. I went to a 2-ring setup in my race car where I only have a top ring and an oil ring to remove that second oil scraper ring because I want to get as much power as possible. And despite that, my engines don't smoke because I have a vacuum pump. If I remove my vacuum pump, you couldn't breathe in here when I'm tuning. You just couldn't. But with a vacuum pump, I get the extra power from being able to remove the crankcase pressure and even more power because I can get away with low tension rings. And my piston choice is Trom pistons in, what's that considered? Harbor City kind of area? Southern California, by all means. All right, let's see here. Hello, NS Koku, appreciate your kind word. Thank you for joining indeed, thank you so much. Did you ever look into the real dash for instrument clusters? Not yet. What I've done in terms of instrument clusters, I've used a company called Speed Hut and some of my stuff, but never looked into Real Dash. I will check them out, Corvolt. You are just a wealth of insight. R35, R13, good afternoon. Good seeing you indeed. Thank you for joining. Let's see here. Afternoon, JDM4 Live. Good seeing you. Nothing yet. I haven't heard anything on my trailer. Not quite yet, sir. My pleasure indeed, brother XO. Appreciate you indeed, Xavier. Let's see here. What's up, Big Elmer? Just chilling, just living the dream, Uncle. Hopefully you're doing well. Why did I prefer direct injection? That's why I prefer direct injection before. Oh, please share why. I'm curious to your thing. Any announcement on the Greenwood vet plan yet? Nope, it's gonna be an expensive build, but I definitely make a proper announcement on YouTube. Stay tuned. I think you'll like what we have going on. All right, okay, let's see here. Well, guys, it is 41 minutes in. I have a lot to do here. The team is back. I want to follow up on quite a few things. You guys have some great questions and so on and so forth, but please stay on the lookout for the Bisimoto 20-foot trailer, 24-foot trailer. I'm here in Southern California. If you see anything out there, reach out to me, reach out to authorities. Please, please, please do not approach the people. Don't approach them at all. And hopefully I can have some good news for you guys in the next few hours. But in the meantime, stay safe, stay dry, stay warm. I look forward to seeing you guys next week, same place. Take care now. Stay safe. Cheers. Bye-bye.